Hello everyone, Rich Hagon, Brian David-Marshall, welcoming you to our wrap-up of what has been BDM. The word I have in my head is satisfying. It has been such a satisfying Pro Tour in so many ways.
Yeah, we saw a lot of great things happen this weekend. We saw a lot of firsts. We saw a lot of long-time comings. We saw a lot of surprises. It was a pretty amazing weekend here at Pro Tour Journey DX. We watched people draft. We watched people tackle this unknown block constructed format. We had sort of seen a block constructed format made up of 2/3 of the cards, but this new wave of cards coming in with Journey to Nyx really mixed the format up and really changed things.
As we'll see, the top 8 was truly spectacular. It was star-studded, and it delivered the goods on Sunday. Why don't we take a look at the bracket and how it all panned out. Over on the big wall, we kicked off with Josh Utter-Leighton, the number 4 seed from the United States, up against Stanislav Sivka of the Czech Republic. BDM, Josh won that one, and there was a little sigh from the world at large when the one true aggro deck in the top 8 got sent packing.
Well, it certainly, rejiggered our lunch plans. You're like, oh, the aggro deck, this will go quickly, but no. Yeah, there were a lot of Coursers of Krufix, a lot of Sylvan Caryatids in the top 8, and these are cards that will those cards put a halt to the Satyr Hoplites and the Akroan Crusaders? And in this specific case, they did. Stanislav Sivka playing a deck that, well, he saw Martin Juza playing a red-white draft deck on Thursday and got angry because he thought Martin was showing people his constructed deck.
Yes.
But in the end, it was Josh Utter-Leighton playing this black, blue, green, or bug, as we call it, control deck that took the match from Stanislav Sivka.
Same side of the bracket, you had Jamie Park up against Patrick Chapin. Now, those two players hold something in common. They have top 8s in the 1990s, and the 2000s, and the 2010s. Extraordinary stuff. Who emerged from that one, BDM?
This was Patrick Chapin, who won the match, 2 Channel Fireball Pantheon teammates, and Patrick Chapin playing his kind of junk-colored mid-range deck against the otherwise consensus Pantheon bug control deck that Jamie Park was playing. 2 players who've known each other, played against each other since they were probably 15 years old.
Yeah, it was a good one. Chapin advances. Bottom half of the bracket saw the real Cinderella story of the weekend, Andrea Mengucci of Italy. He was up against Nam Sung-wook of South Korea, another weekend of firsts we've mentioned, first South Korean in a Pro Tour top 8.
Absolutely. We got to meet Andrea Mengucci round 1 of this Pro Tour when he stepped into the feature match area to take on reigning King of the Hill, Sean McLaren. Sean earned that title, of course, by being the Pro Tour champion at Pro Tour Born of the Gods. And Andrea Mengucci stepped into the feature match area and stayed there for 8 rounds until he was deposed by Patrick Chapin. But we really got a chance to see him play, and we all took a shine to him. But Nam Sung-wook, who's a notable online player and who's won a Grand Prix.
NSW.
NSW, yes, a very well-known Magic Online player, was the real Cinderella story of that bracket when he took it from Andrea.
One of the big headline acts was Reed Duke. He was the number 2 seed. He was up against the Japanese player Yuki Ichikawa, playing only a handful of Pro Tours. That one, well, there's some brutality in the game of Magic sometimes. And the second game, BDM, was car crash magic for Reed Duke.
Yeah, Reed's deck kind of just he couldn't get the ignition to turn on it. He mulliganed to 5, but this was a huge weekend for Reed Duke. Everyone in the lower bracket, it should be noted, made their first top 8. Everyone in the top half of the bracket had previous top 8 experience. Reed Duke, though, is someone who, when you talk to people, they're like, really? Reed Duke doesn't have a Pro Tour top 8 yet. He's a Magic Online champion. He's a World's finalist. But he did not have a Pro Tour top 8, and he had his breakthrough. But Yuki Ichikawa, who's a Nico Magic streamer in Japan,
right?
He plays Magic Online, streams it, a popular player on the Asian Grand Prix circuit. He was the Magic Online player with a cult of personality who tested with a team of superstars, Yuya Watanabe, Kenji Samura, and so on, who emerged victorious in this bracket.
In we go to the semi-finals, and you see 10 Pro Tour top 8s between Josh Utter-Layton and Patrick Chapin, up against 0 in the bottom half. Namsoon Wook,
2.
Yuki Ichikawa. Well, yes, now.
If we're going to give them 10, we got to give them 2.
Fair, false accounting, smack. Josh Utter-Layton, Patrick Chapin, what goes on there?
Well, this was a matchup that was expected to go in Patrick Chapin's favor. I know Luis was hoping otherwise, but he's happy either way. He works with Patrick. He's teammates with Josh and good friends with both. But it was Patrick Chapin who took this match with Fleece Mane Lions and Brimazes and Elspeths.
So then in the Asia Pacific matchup in the semi-final, Namsoon Wook up against Yuki Ichikawa, who advanced to the final.
The Black-Green Constellation deck, which used Eidolon of Blossoms and Brain Maggots to draw cards and kind of disrupt his opponent plan in the hands of Namsoon Wook, advanced to the finals to face against Patrick Chapin.
2 gentlemen headlined the final, as they inevitably would. But actually, it was a lady who dominated the final, and that lady's name was Elspeth Terrell, the Suns champion. Elspeth was everywhere you looked in that final BDM, a fitting end to Theros Block.
There was a cast of thousands of Coursers of Krufix and Sylvan Caryatids, but the leading lady was definitely Elspeth Suns champion. And Patrick Chapin, ironically though, won the last round with a monstrous Fleece Mane Lion. He won the last game to take his match against Nam, and Patrick Chapin, who's been playing this game for as long as you could be playing it, has been playing on the Pro Tour for nearly as long as there's been a Pro Tour, finally has a Pro Tour victory.
It's 17 years since his first Pro Tour top 8, and now he has a title to go with it. Not only is it $40,000, not only is it trophy, not only is it Magic Immortality, it's about a chair, and what a chair it is.
Yes, when we spoke to Patrick yesterday, he's like, look, this is not mission accomplished. Even if I win, it's not mission accomplished. This is day 3 of my tournament. Day 4 of my tournament is the first round of the World Championships. 24-person tournament, and he qualified for that tournament by winning this one. It guarantees him a berth, and now he says, I can achieve my lifelong dream of being a world champion. He came so close. He came so close in 2007 in New York when he made it to the finals of the World Championship there. Now he can be a world champion. This time he has another shot. There's only 23 of the world's best players that he needs to defeat in order to do so.
Well, he beat a bunch of them this weekend, but that's for the future. That's all the way in December in our Worlds Week coming from Nice. But at the Pro Tour, what's up next?
Well, next we head to Portland. We're going to have Pro Tour Magic 2015, and we're going to welcome all of you with open arms to that event.
That is certainly true. But 17 years after his first Pro Tour top 8, Patrick Chapin takes down the title. As we end our Pro Tour journey, don't stop believing.